Welcome once again to another fantastic episode of the Action Cartoon Brothers. I'm your host, Benny K, and with me today we have...
Matthew Lewis.
And we also have a very special guest. One man who has befriended Matt and I this entire time. His name is Edward Bobinchek. Say hello, Ed.
Hello, Ed.
And just like always, that's where I'm ending that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, thank goodness he brought it back. I know you listeners probably missed it last week, so...
Oh, come on. With this, how can I not?
Of course. Oh, well, yeah, with this, it opens and he does all 3 episodes, so yeah.
But now today is actually a very special episode of our Legend of Korra cast because
Ed's here to tell you, to school you brothers.
Yeah?
Yes,
he
actually.
is the biggest, one of the biggest Avatar fans I know forever.
Seriously, yeah.
I have a son due in about a month or two, and his middle name is going to be Bolin.
Yep, one of the best characters in this damn series.
One of the best characters of all of the Avatar lore.
I'm not going to argue with him. Yeah.
That is agreed.
He's fantastic and only gets better.
But also because these 3 episodes we're doing are actually the last 3 of Season 1.
Yep.
And with that, we're going to just go right into Episode 10, Turning the Tides, where we start off with Korra in bed healing, and Mako being the good friend that he is.
Tentative friend.
Good friend.
Very tentative.
Very tentative.
I was going to say, also when you're giving your intro, you didn't point out how the last time, I always point out what the last time was like. It was all about Amon building his power and rep and just nonstop winning and winning and winning.
This is true, yes.
Oof.
Yeah, I know, but still, I mean, we always knew that Amon was going to be building up and winning and winning.
Oh yeah.
Well, as Korra and Mako are, as Mako's like, I'm the best friend, I will watch you like a hawk. Asami is not very receptive to this.
Oh yeah, classic Jelly Asami, just being Jelly, standing in the shadows, upset.
Yep, and then of course we get a little confrontation with Tenzin comforting his family, and then we get to go to Korra eating, actually being Korra, like not just recovering and everything. And as that's happening, Pema and everyone's like, "Oh, we're glad you're back." Pema goes to the kitchen, Asami joins, and that's when Korra reveals that Tarlok is Yakone. I always say his name wrong.
Yeah.
Yakone's son, and that Tarlok doesn't have his bending anymore, which surprises Tenzin
They didn't
and
know
Lin.
that he was a bloodbender until just then. Am I not mistaken, correct?
They knew he was a bloodbender because he attacked.
Yeah.
He attacked them earlier in the episodes before that. He attacked Lin and the entirety of Team Avatar except for Korra because he already took her. When Tarlok Tarlok took him, but yeah, they were surprised because both of them know who Yakone was. Because at the mention, they both were like, "Oh, Yakone."
Yeah, Tenzin
is
literally
everything.
He was pretty. I mean, he took down how many people?
Yeah.
He
took down Aang multiple times. Sokka, Toph, her mother. So yeah, of course.
And all with his mind, perhaps?
Yeah.
By the way, this is a good time to talk about the best tribe, the Water Tribe.
Whatever.
Best bending style.
Everyone knows that Earth is the best.
I'm so glad that Ben agrees with me.
He's so lame. Waterbending is the best because bloodbending can take down anybody and anything.
Well, we'll get to the
disclaimer. Ed's wife is also part Earth as well.
That's good because it's the best.
Exactly.
We'll get to the all capabilities.
We'll get to
I can't even get into all capabilities of my team, but we'll get there.
Oh yeah. But as
you with that bloodbending.
Well, we're gonna have this argument until like the entirety of this entire series.
Yeah, seriously,
100%.
we're just gonna. Well, as all of that's happening, as Korra's talking to Tenzin and them about that, we've cut to Pema in the kitchen with Asami, and Pema's having a bit of pregnancy issues. When Mako walks in, and when Mako comes in, Pema leaves, and Asami and Mako have some relationship issues.
I'm about to say we got a hilarious reaction from Pema.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah,
she makes a crazy face.
She gives an amazing, awkward face. It was fantastic.
Because Pema knows. And after some arguing, Asami reveals she knows about the kiss, which Mako immediately is just like, Bolin told you, huh?
Yeah, and she's rightfully like, don't try to blame Bolin for this.
Dude, Bolin is just best boy. No one ever blames him.
How dare you?
And who knows? Maybe there's a breakup over here?
Who knows? They're still together.
We don't know, yeah.
I mean, it was always kind of nebulous.
Yeah,
this is true.
Well, since Korra's been in trouble the last couple of episodes, Mako's been like super hardcore. Like, where's Korra? We gotta save Korra. And somebody's been like just jelly in the background. Like,
where's the Avatar located? And then speaking of awkward conversations,
oh yeah,
Tenzin asks Lin through a lot of stuttering and making Lin be like, just spit it out. He wants Lin to watch his family. You can see why this is very. And of course, Lin agrees. And Pema,
she's a solid, super great vigilante, awesome person, and Toph's daughter. So yeah,
of course,
she also understands like, okay, my personal feelings aside, like keeping them safe is very important.
Oh yeah,
because even if it was just they weren't just airbenders, the fact that he's on the council means that if his family is taken, they now have control over one of the most powerful and influential people in all of Republic City.
Well, correct.
I couldn't imagine if they got their hands on a council member. That'd be crazy.
That would be. Right? But yeah, also, but of course, Lin's just like, yes, I will. And Pema proceeds to utilize milk this cow till it's dry.
Just immediately ditches terrible old Milo onto Lin.
Oh, poor Milo.
Poor Milo.
What do you want me to say? Poor Pema?
Poor Lin. How dare you?
Poor Lin 100%.
Yeah, 100% because it's Milo.
He is old. I feel like he's old enough to be able to bathe himself and also to not poop himself.
He's a gross little
He's
weirdo.
like, I gotta poop. It's like, you don't need
seriously.
I'm sure
you're not in public. You're at your own house. You can do this on your own, bro.
I don't know that. I'm sure it's online a bajillion places, but like, what would you guess Milo's age is?
Probably like 7.
I'd say like 3 or 4.
No, you're right. You're right.
Five.
Icky is like 7 maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Milo's younger than that.
Joro's like, I don't think Joro's a teenager.
5, maybe 4.
I suppose maybe like 11 or 12 is Joro's age. We could easily find this out, listeners. We're all just speculating, so please don't send us mail. We're probably gonna look it up afterwards.
No, send us the mail what you think the ages are, and then what they actually are when you look them up.
Yeah, and also like, comment, and subscribe.
Shut up. Not yet.
Anyway,
tweet them to me at Bob.
Hey, say that at the end. This is a really talking over each other heavy episode, but it's Korra, so who cares? It's great. It's worth it.
But now, speaking of going over everything, we find out that a few council members start getting kidnapped.
Well, I was going to say, that's jumping the gun. We get to see the hilarious home life of the fire council lady.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, where are my keys, honey? I don't know, dear. Yeah, I found my keys in my purse. That's good, dear.
It's just like, classic sitcom funniness. And of course, he answers the door, and who else is it but old Lance Henriksen?
Yeah, Lance Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen, the exterminator. I'm here for your spider rats. And I was like,
spider
Jesus
rats.
Christ.
Which
spider rats?
They've never shown those, have they?
I don't want to see them because that sounds disgusting.
I want to see them because I want to know how gross they are.
Cockamouse.
What is there a cockamouse?
That's in How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay. What to say? Is that an Avatar thing?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean, it sounds like it.
100%
it really does. But, then she gets zapped. Because apparently she was the spider rat.
Wait a minute. No, wrong show.
Wrong series.
Then Tenzin actually flies to where the council is. And, okay, we need to establish this right now. Is the squeaky-mouthed liar...
That's how I refer to him in my notes,
too. Is that a guy or is that a girl?
It's a guy. What do you think that the squeaky voice is? Voiced by D. Bradley Baker. Who do you think?
Wait, is it voiced by Bradley Baker?
Of course.
Look.
It does. They are.
How dare you?
Gender fluid individuals.
Thank you.
I was a gender ambiguous person, but yeah.
Because every single time that individual talks, they sound just old enough where even like an old man could sound like a woman, or vice versa. And the hair and everything, the way that their face looks and everything, the kind of body structure makes me feel like it's an old lady. Anyway.
They have a rugged look while at the same point having a very feminine built body. So it's very nebulous.
Yeah. But it's D. Bradley Baker, so I assume it's a guy. I don't know.
But with that...
Very good character regardless.
Yeah, it's a very... Well, that character's been kind of important the whole series. Like, once again, we probably could very easily look it up, find his character's actual name, not Squeaky Voiced Liar.
Yes, seriously.
We're not going
to. But then Tenzin's like, what's happening? Tenzin lands, and as he's going over, some nice window vipers are deciding to...
Wait, there are snakes in this episode?
Oh,
yes, there are. A lot of snakes. But not on the plane, surprisingly enough.
Oh, God, shut up. Well, that's not for this episode either, so I should have still mentioned those.
Mention what?
I don't know.
Anyway.
What you just said.
But as Tenzin's walking past the vipers, all of a sudden they look and they decide to try and capture him. But with the power of Beard...
Yeah, Tenzin, that's awesome. His beard like static shocks out, like, oh, something's happening.
Right. And Tenzin just easily takes him out.
Just really cool.
I'm pretty sure that was actually, he felt it from on his bald head.
Probably,
yeah. He could have. Yeah, he could have felt it here, and his beard just decided to react.
Very cool. Some great airbending from him again, because it's amazing whenever you see him just take out people.
Dude, oh my goodness.
It's just like Aang showed that, like, yeah, an airbender is really, really powerful. They can utilize their bending as good as any firebender, but way more of a better utility than, like, it's just crazy.
It really is.
The firebenders are more offensive based. They're about taking and attacking, whereas airbenders are about dodging and avoiding it, but when you do having it, it's about misdirection.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Just takes out all these people. It's great.
After that, we find out from the Squeaky Liar that all the council people are being kidnapped, except for Tenzin, who's literally right there. Have been. They have been.
Tenzin is now in charge, and as they say that, we see a bunch of bombs.
Just immediately.
Going off in the city.
You are now officially the person who rules this place right now. And immediately everything just bombs out, literally.
Republic City.
Yeah, Republic City is really having a rough time.
I mean, that is a trend.
Constantly under siege and attack, it's just crazy.
And then, of course, after that, after Team Avatar finds out about this, cut the commercial break, come back, and we find out that Team Avatar is going to Republic City to find out what's going on. And we also learn something very valuable about Korra.
You put the part with the gigantic blimps.
Oh, yeah.
After we see the bombs,
how else are they getting bombed?
Well, you didn't. Who knows? But yeah, we see the bomb. We see the giant blimps heading towards their temple.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh yeah, thanks Sokka for inventing blimps.
Yeah, you did mention that when we were watching it. Thanks, Sokka.
Yeah, he is 100% the reason that air travel exists in this universe now.
Yeah, true.
Like, the professor had the blueprints, but it was Sokka who figured it out.
Yeah, dude, when you have an idea man like that.
And it has literally hurt them every single time since.
Didn't somebody, like, the Fire Nation, did they have blimps at the end of the series?
They got blimps. They had the ships at one point, and then because remember the general's like, we have a chance to win, and then they pulled them out on the day of Black Sun. That's when they pulled them out. It's like, oh snap! Yeah. And then they were going to use those to take out the Earth Kingdom as well. Because remember Sokka and Suki and Toph ended up taking out a bunch of them.
Yeah, I remember. Oh my god!
Happy birthday!
Oh god, it's amazing.
Not yet, by the way.
Well, we just see them hovering over the city, dropping the bombs and stuff.
First, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Then Team Avatar goes into the city, and you learn something very good about Korra. She don't know how to drive.
That was amazing.
That was great. You guys all got left. You left me with a car. I made it clear. I can't drive.
And there you go. It was even canon that she told them. And of course, Bolin, being Bolin, is just like, hey, for your first time it wasn't bad. What are we going to do about these tickets? In which case they get burnt by Mako.
That criminal.
Right? Freaking street rats.
That was hilarious.
Oh, I mean, and then of course, with a little bit of Asami Mako issues out of the way, they all go and drive towards where the council members.
Out of the way? No, she's like, you get in the back with Korra.
Well, I mean, for this moment, it's out of the way because we don't need a step by step. Oh, this is what he said, she said thing.
Well, it's great because he tells him get in the back. He gets in the back, and then Bolin, being the excellent shotgun passenger he always is, like, car. Oh, well, you're good. He calls out the car, pushing it. She's
car. Okay, we're good.
I was like, man, you're such a great guy. He's a great shotgun passenger and everything.
The best. Because they're going to go and they're going to drive somewhere. They don't say where. But we go back to where Saikon and any other, like, surviving members of the police force are. Just telling about how everything is going down. Like, they can't do anything with the rivers. They can't, like, have scouts or anything. Tenzin shows up and, is aware of the situation. And this is where we get a really big name drop here. Because Tenzin wants to send a wire to the General of the United Forces.
Yep, the United Forces. The first time we're hearing about this strange situation. It's great.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, they proceed to get gassed.
Yep, the police station is full of gas. It's great.
And thanks to airbending, none of them actually get gassed. Which, again, knowing that this is like a more advanced Avatar: The Last Airbender, like we're getting cars and stuff, it's really kind of cool to see all the lights go out and them getting flashlights.
Yeah,
I know
was great.
It's a really small thing, I know, but
it's
actually really cool to see this
actual
stuff.
Flashlights is fantastic, and I love that like they metal bend the Great's clothes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome, cops.
Yep.
That's great.
Oh yeah. And of course, Tenzin gets everyone safely out, and then they find mecha tanks waiting for them.
Oh yeah, it's a really cool scene with them like going through the police station, just like with the air spinning around them.
Right? Yeah. It's all that. It was great. And of course, how does one who cannot bend beat a metal bender, guys? Come on, no dead air.
A really big magnet.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's great.
They giant magnet the police forces, and they try to capture Tenzin. Tenzin does a really good job trying to airbend.
He fends off about 5 mecha tanks, which I was like, whoa, it's impressed.
Yeah. But then he just gets smacked and he gets knocked out.
Yep.
All hope seems lost until Team Avatar come in and literally crash the car.
Oh yeah, they take out a mecha tank with the car.
Yeah,
completely.
Oh yeah,
they straight up kill some people here.
They do. There was a lot of tank blowing up. It's great.
And of course, Team Avatar is like, yeah, we're saving the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tenzin's like, hey, thanks. Without you, we would have been going to
like between Tenzin being taken out by the 5 tanks, but then them rescuing him, we also see that the electricity that the barbs do can be redirected by lightning benders, which was fantastic. So you can send that back at the mecha tank.
Mako being a lightning bender is very underplayed.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, actually, when I saw him redirect the lightning, I had forgotten he did that until I remembered, oh yeah, he worked at an electric company.
Electric factory?
Yeah.
That was a cool little way of showing that way back in the day. Also, just like remembering the crazy mobster Lightning Bolt Zolt.
Yeah,
what a great name. This all took
really
a second
is.
to remember Lightning Bolt Zolt.
That insane scene. I feel like his parents named him Zolt because they knew he was going to be a fireman.
Yeah.
Probably.
Who names their kid just Zolt? Like, because it rhymes with Bolt.
Yeah, Naruto named his kid Bolt, so it's all fine.
Well, after Tenzin's just like, hey, by the way, you kids are great. You saved me. It's like they look and they go, uh-oh. And then we see a blimp.
I was going to say, before that, cutting back again, cutting back, Asami takes out a ton of equalists.
Oh, yeah, just
with
using
the lightning
glove.
Yeah, she takes out a ton of them. Like, by herself, hand-to-hand combat-wise, she takes out probably more than the others who are fighting the tanks. She takes out, like, a ton of them. It's really cool.
That just adds on to more how I didn't like Asami at the beginning, but now she's becoming one of the most, like, crazy awesome characters.
Yeah, she's a really good play. And then Mako spots the blimp heading towards Air Temple Island.
Yep, Air Temple Island. Which, oh no, that means there's gonna be some cahootins going on here.
Yeah.
With the White Lotus, obviously.
Of course.
The White Lotus started off so good, and they just
they really
a running theme throughout all of Korra is the White Lotus are basically pointless,
entirely incompetent. I was gonna say, but like on schedule, as soon as things get crazy, Pema goes into labor.
Immediately. I love how it was played out. TV shows. I love how it was played out too. Lynn's just all like, "Hey, everyone, stay calm. We're gonna get attacked, but stay calm." Pema screams, "I told you to stay calm. I'm actually having a baby."
Yeah, thanks for the timing.
Good facial expression there for the podcast, Ben.
No, they are the thud.
They heard him slap his head, I guess.
But anyway, so yeah, like we've already established, the White Lotus tried to fend off, and they fail.
It's a pretty cool scene of them, like just seeing all those different benders working together. Like, just all doing different elements at once. That was pretty cool, just seeing them work together like that. But, of course, they all get jobbed by the Equalists really quickly.
I kept getting mad at this because they fire this giant spear down onto the island and then zip line down. It's like, they're using some kind of metals. They're not using platinum things.
Yeah.
There's metal in this. You have a freaking metal bender. Just rip it. Cut the line.
Who's the metal bender? Oh, Lynn.
Lynn!
Come on.
I'll say besides Lynn, who else is there that could possibly do it?
Cut the line halfway through. They're all dead. Day saved. Congratulations, everyone. Tricks all around.
I guess there's no way those are platinum ropes, but whatever. Those ropes have taken down a ton of benders already, though. Like earthbenders and metal benders, they've taken down with those ropes, just immediately grabbing them. Which, it's
they're electrified usually, though.
Yeah, you're right.
And speaking of which, they actually do reach Lynn, and Lynn does do some being badass as she always is.
Yeah, it takes out a ton of equalists. It's great.
And it is getting a little overrun. And who should come to help but Tenzin's kids?
Yeah, Jinora saying, "Get away from my dad's ex-girlfriend." I was like, "Oof."
Oh, dude, that was just like...
Oof, I'm a goof. That's good.
But the real hero of that scene was Milo, 100%.
Of course, with his fart bending. Well, wait, earlier, like talking about continuity, earlier in the series, we saw him fart bending earlier, so it's great to see him bring that back
great
to
to
actually...
see him fart bending some more.
Actually utilizing his fart bending for good, I guess.
And then, of course, they capture the Equalist, and Tenzin comes back, and he's just like, "Oh, kids, you're all safe." And Lin's like, "Yeah, by the way, they fought with me." Yeah. And Tenzin, in normal Tenzin fashion, is like, "Dude, what the heck?"
Yeah, why would you let my kids fight? And they're like, "They saved me." And
they literally saved me. You should be proud. Now go be with your wife.
Yeah. And then we see the newborn baby, named... Rohan.
Rohan?
Yeah.
Honestly, the way they pronounce things.
Rohan? Yeah.
Well, I probably should have put on the subtitles, but... Rohan.
Yeah, Rohan's the baby's name. And I tried to look it up. It's not a reference to any other characters. It's an original name. It's like it's a reference to I think in real life Brian the creator like his nephew. I think his name that or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good little reference.
It is.
That baby.
Does he actually? Oh, I'm about to say.
I mean, yeah. That's
we'll get there eventually.
Oh yeah.
Well.
And of course, this beautiful reunion of family and a newborn baby has to get interrupted because, well, they're still being attacked.
Yep, more and more airships are landing on the goddamn island.
So, with a little bit of teaching from Tenzin, Korra and Team Avatar, with Naga, of course, go into hiding. Are planning to go into hiding and waiting a little bit, while all the airbenders with Lin are gonna fly off and go somewhere to be safe.
Just get them away from this place. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course.
We see Naga take out Lance Henriksen guy again.
Oh, of course. Yes. I'm not gonna forget
Naga bending.
Yeah,
exactly.
Slaps him out of the air. It's great. It's like,
it was amazing. He's just like, mustache guy, haha, and then Naga just is like, nope.
Slap. It's just great.
And then we go after they escape on Naga with a little bit of water bending from Korra. We cut to Lin and the Air Temple family getting chased, and Lin. Of all the times that she's amazing, this is like the one thing that makes her the best ever.
Oh, this is hardly the first or last thing that makes her the best. I love this. It's an amazing
It really is. I love it.
Which is one in a long line of her just being great. It's
all she does is she just gives like this amazing thing where she's just like, "Don't turn back, whatever happens to me." And of course Tenzin's like, "No," and then Lin like hops up, gets on one of those blimps, and metal bends it to a pile of heap. Breaks it completely.
Just grabs it and just runs
along. So many people.
Thank goodness. I'm so happy.
So many terrorists.
She's a vigilante, so it's fine.
That is true. She's a vigilante point.
And then, of course, she jumps to the next one, and she's getting ready to do the same exact thing.
Just running along and ripping the entire ceiling off. It was just insane looking.
But all good things apparently have to come to an end. I don't know why, but because she gets captured, and we get one of the best Milo lines ever.
Yeah.
That lady is my hero.
Oh, destroyed me.
You think that destroyed me.
Dude, like, I won't get to it in a second, but then we cut back to the Avatar team for a second, right?
Literally, a literal second, because we find out that they're safe and they're hiding in the sewers.
Yeah, and we get more Mako being overly protective of Korra and Asami being, like, side-eyeing them, Yeah, a very jelly, and it was a very mildly sinister look, and I was just like, back in the day when I watched, I was like, what this deal? Was she gonna, something's up with her.
Right.
It was crazy. And then, we get the worst scene in the entire series because, dude,
there are worse scenes in this series, but this is up there with them.
When this first aired on TV, I literally was like utterly destroyed by this. Dude, this scene destroyed me.
My first time watching this was on the Blu-ray like a few nights ago.
Yeah.
And I was crushed. I mean, heck, I was watching with Ed, and Ed and Leanne both saw just how utterly destroyed I was.
Dude.
And to fill you in, lovely viewers, Aman is looking at Lin, who's bound up, and he's just like, "Tell me where the Avatar is, and I'll let you go without harm." And Lin, being the amazing girl that she is just like, I ain't gonna tell you anything. And Aman proceeds to take her bending away.
And an insanely sad rainstorm.
that hurt
so
far too much.
It destroyed me. I was so done.
But yeah,
it's rough too.
Even now, I was just like, ugh.
Because she has such a stoic look on her face right before it, and then she has that typical like eyes open, like this hurts so terribly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. It's just seeing her go from like stoic to that did not help at all.
Yeah, it's insane.
But
there are worse moments in all of Legend of Korra. This is up there, though.
I'll say that
There's a little one in season 1 that's literally, I think, a more depressing scene.
There is some real downer stuff, and also, like, not to spoil anything, but, like, Lynn's suffering has not ended now. I'll say that.
No, it never ends.
The hard life that is Lynn's has not gotten as bad as it's going to get, so...
I guess I'll find out.
Yeah.
And then we get a fleet.
Yeah.
And we find out that Tenzin's wired to the United Forces actually went through. And it's all... And so one guy is talking about, hey, Tenzin says there's some problems. And that's when we see Dante Bosco.
Hey, I'm about to say, you mean General Iroh.
Yeah, General Iroh. I was getting there.
You see the name for sure?
Man, he was really old. I was surprised he was still around.
Yeah, I was gonna say Iroh got young.
Yeah, I know. Wow, he got like somehow went back in time.
But then we find out that the general of the United Forces is named Iroh.
Yep, General Iroh.
And totally like his red attire and everything.
It's great.
Don't ever say that it's firebending or anything.
Hey, United Forces, how dare you?
Oh, well, forgive me for being biased. But finding out that name drop of General Iroh,
of course,
and how they're going to be going to Republic City is where the episode ends.
I'm about to say that you proceed to hear his voice, and you're like, oh, that's Dante Bosco, the most distinct voice of any human being on the planet.
Why is it Dante Bosco?
Why isn't where you are?
No, sorry. Why does he sound like Zuko? Yeah. Is what like the joke that we had when we were watching it. It's like,
I mean, it's literally he looks just like Zuko without the scar.
Of course.
Yeah,
it's his grandson. It's his grandson. Presumably.
Yes. Oh, it is.
Yeah. Oh,
it says my
next episode he says my grandfather.
Spoilers, we're getting there.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's really not. But
all right, so mid-episode chat time.
I was gonna say this is honestly, oh my goodness, because everyone likes to hear this since this is my first time watching this. Oh my goodness, this was the first of many moments where my mind just exploded. Ed can attest to this.
I sure can. I was grinning ear to ear while Lynn is having bending take away because I'm watching Ben.
That's funny to do. I couldn't watching by myself again.
Just remember, it wasn't because of the bending getting taken away. It was because he was watching me.
Yeah, watching him
just be heartbroken.
Someone's reaction to that, like,
oh
God.
my goodness,
it's so entertaining to watch.
It's so depressing.
And I cannot wait to watch more because this season 3.
Whew, yeah. Oh, stop.
He's not going to. He and Leanne have been really good about not spoiling everything.
We were very quiet during the viewings because we wanted to be like, oh, you're going to see that this person. Oh wait, I can't say anything. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly. It was such a great episode, but this is heartbreaking sadness. My favorite character is Lynn in the show.
Oh, yeah.
When that happened, they made that scene as like sad as it could possibly get. And I'm just like, I think that's probably the most dramatic like deep ending scene since Lightning Bolt Zolt, where he's like shooting the lightning the entire time you see it get low and in the fire.
Yep, like lightning.
That was the first
fire,
one,
the
and
red
this is
fire,
like
then,
the second most like depressingly crazy looking scene. It was absolutely crazy.
Well,
the Wolfbats losing it was pretty rough though.
Which one?
The Wolfbats.
Oh yeah, he was like screaming and begging. Yeah, Tano. Rami Malek, yeah.
I hate Tano, but I've already established that once he got it taken away,
he became more likable, definitely.
He did. But you two obviously have seen more than I have. So you guys obviously are like this next episode 11, Skeletons in the Closet.
Oh boy. Yeah.
That was a horrible segue, but
it was definitely great because the last episode it's interesting the finale of trio here, like the first episode of this, like that last episode whatever, it's not even about Team Avatar so much. I mean, they're in it and they do some things, but it's all about Tenzin and Lin. I mean, this is their episode.
It really was. Which this always drives in that Tenzin and Lin should have.
Hey man, I like when I was first watching this show, I literally utterly despised Pema, even though she's voiced by a comedian I really like, Maria Bamford. I despised her the entire series. I was just like, what should have been with her?
I feel like Pema is a necessary character, and Lin and Tenzin should not be together because Tenzin is carrying the weight of airbending and a family on his shoulders, and Lin is not. Lin is
carrying all of Republic City on her shoulders. At least before she became
she's carrying a lot.
It's hard to say. Yeah, it's hard to say too much about it without giving away certain other aspects. But
so more
her family life is very different than Tenzin, who was again, he is the son of Aang. He is the son of the Avatar. He is the only Airbender left. So him not having children is inconceivable to someone like him, and Lin is not the person who I believe would want to have children or really be good with children. Yeah. So that
she is. There's a lot like Toph.
So. Also, that unspoken aspect of Tenzin has a lot of kids because he needs to have a lot of kids, and it's it's never spoken, but it's a very clear thing. And they never say, you're right. They never say why they weren't together, but that feels like a very obvious reason, and Lin just seems like a person who wouldn't. So it's a very unspoken, very serious, very mature concept that's alluded to and vague, but it's still kind of there. It's really, really crazy.
This is all fair, but
I'm still upset about it.
Dude, you're allowed to.
just because it's one of many things in Lin's life that makes her sad. I'm just like, why? But it conceptually makes sense, and it's a really good story for her.
Right.
Yeah.
And which I'll find out. But right now, our viewers would like to know about episode 11.
Yeah, they'll be happy about chatting. They'll want to listen to this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the next episode is all about the villain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, indeed it is. Which, by the way, it starts off with talking about everything that happened in the episode we just discussed, and then the first thing you see after the last time is the
the last time.
I just literally mentioned that. On the last time, they literally talked about a lot of the things we already discussed in the last episode.
It's all just about the Air Temple segments.
Right, yeah. But after the last time, we actually see the Equalists taking over Republic City.
Mm-hmm.
They put a mask on the Aang statue. They have all of the different Equalist flags and everything. Totally wanting equality by making sure that if no one is equal to them, that they will kill them.
The Aang statue thing is the most roughest thing. It's so terrible
seriously.
and upsetting.
Oh my goodness.
It's so terrible and upsetting.
And of course, hearing Sato give this whole we are now equal. Bending is forbidden now, and all this stuff. All this I really want to strangle the man so much.
Yep. Sato giving his evil speech to the entire city. Once again, I'm about to point out that yellow shirt guy is in the crowd once again.
Of course he is.
And also it's upsetting, during that whole evil speech to the city, we also see a lot of people cheering, which is also really sad and upsetting about the whole situation.
It's
rough.
Yeah, it really is. And of course, Korra and Mako are doing reconnaissance and stuff.
Yep.
And Korra, in Korra fashion, is we need to do something now.
Yep. Oh, they're in Equalists outfits.
Right, yeah, they're hidden. But, she really wants to do something, but she knows that she has to wait for now.
Mm-hmm.
So she does, reluctantly. And then we get to see both of them go into... and
we also get the classic, the ethos of Korra's entire character. I hate this being patient stuff.
Yeah. I hate this being patient stuff.
That is her entire character ethos right there. It's...
Mm-hmm. If Korra could be described in one phrase, that's it right there.
Yep, but Mako's we need to wait for Iroh. That's the only thing. We need to wait for Iroh to get here. That's the main thing we need to do.
And then, of course, after all that, we find out that they're in, an underground settlement.
Tobo Town.
Yeah, I was going to say, with Bush Hobo.
From Tom Goes to the Mayor, they're in Hobo... Hobo Town.
Yeah, they're in, and it's led by the Bush Hobo from episode 1 or 2?
One.
Yeah, 1. Bush Hobo, one of my favorite side characters ever.
And a tasty looking fish you got there.
And of course, they're talking about how in this underground settlement, they found peace and harmony between benders and non-benders.
Mm-hmm.
And of course that doesn't ever bother them. And they eat the best street gruel that Bolin has ever had.
Yeah, that was
so
hilarious.
So great that it was gotten from the finest dumpsters in Republic City.
That too with Asami vomiting it up was hilarious.
Right,
I do like the little nod though to Bolin and Mako's past here, because he's oh, this is the best I've ever had of this. It's he's used to this kind of food.
Yeah, street gruel. And it's
they're used to this kind of thing, so of course they would be okay with it. And of course, Asami being from higher society would just be like, I'm literally eating trash.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And Pabu is just Pabu.
Yeah,
so of course he's gonna
eating up their street gruel.
Exactly. But then we get like a cute moment between Mako and Korra.
We also find out that she's been in town a few months.
What's that? What?
We find out that she's been in town for a few months.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Yeah, because at first
good to establish how long the series has been going so far.
Yep, a few months. So all of these episodes up to this have only been in the course of a few months, and of course after they have their cute moment question mark that ends abruptly. Thank goodness. Talk about so much oogies. We see Amon just taking bending away one by one, literally like an assembly line. He's just like bending taken away.
A long line of people in line.
Oh,
it's a
very
crazy
long.
scene.
And actually, when Ed and I were watching this, Ed brought up a very good point. Is he going to get tired anytime soon?
Well,
hey, can someone else take over for taking away bending? I need a little bit of smoke break.
Well, we'll find the nature of his ability. We can see why. It's not. I don't think it's a particularly difficult thing physically for someone to differ what he's
but still, that's even a little bit of this arm movement.
He's a buff boy, I guess. Lots of
I guess
lats and.
Well, anyway, after we get that very brief scene, we see Team Avatar in the morning with a very foggy Republic City, a very quiet Republic City, looking, and all of a sudden they see General Iroh's army floating on in. But they notice there are no Equalists around, there's no mecha tanks, there's no
blimps.
anything. Yeah, no blimps, no anything. And, of course, Iroh, being a general of an army, notices this too, and of course he's just like, what is going on here? This shouldn't be like this. Where it's revealed that there are water mines planted all over the coast. And of course, there's a lot of explosions, and Iroh is like, hey, you need waterbenders, earthbenders, take care of these, will you? And then we hear a different sound. One coming from Republic City. It sounds like just a rumbling sound.
Distant buzzing or something.
And of course, Team Avatar is like, what's going on? What is that sound? What is... And then we see a brand new thing.
Yep.
Take it away.
We see attack planes, a large fleet of them, hovering behind the buildings and coming out to attack the fleet, which is absolutely insane. It's
like we're talking like old-time fighter jets and even bomber jets.
Oh, yeah.
It's some that even drop torpedoes, which... Apparently, I forgot what forgot the movie Pearl Harbor, because when they started dropping when they started dropping the torpedoes, it blew my mind a little bit, because I didn't know. I only thought like submarines and even like big battleship cruiser things could drop torpedoes like that. But apparently,
it's crazy.
It was
I don't
a
even
thing.
know how they developed those. It was really crazy. We see Iroh takes out a ton of planes.
Oh my
really
goodness!
cool.
Like single-handedly.
Yeah,
even.
it's a really, really cool fight scene with him just taking them out.
And of
Korra
course,
jumps in to help. Oh, Korra, does Korra take out the bombs under the water or something like that?
She does some of that. She also takes out some of the torpedoes. She just helps out all in all. She even a
little bit. It's kind of similar to Aang during the Siege of the North, where he kind of takes out like a ship here and there.
Yeah.
But it's like there's too many and it's too much.
Yeah, right. Exactly. This is true.
Person.
Yeah.
But what she does is she actually, when General Iroh falls in and like starts sinking to the bottom, she does go and save him, and they actually meet in person for the first time.
Yeah, we also see that the entire fleet is like utterly devastated by this from Amon.
Completely.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like the most powerful army in the whole world, and they just got like instantly obliterated.
It's like literally terrorists are attacking the United Nations.
Yeah,
and the United Nations are losing. Yeah,
it's a crazy, crazy outcome to that insane fight. But they were expecting this crazy amount of technology that Sato was brought into this situation.
Oh, freaking Sato.
He is a very underplayed character, and what he does and what he can do.
Yeah, like all of the moments that he does, that Sato has, are really impactful.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
I mean, if you want to talk about a key figure here, like Amon is obviously like the leader, but Sato is the reason why they get the power that they have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's behind the tanks, behind the gloves, behind everything. Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, indeed. Then Korra and Iroh and Team Avatar manage to escape, and we go all back down to the underground settlement thing, where they're trying to they're trying to come up with a plan. first they have to find out where the planes are coming from and destroy the runways, make sure they cannot come out again. Then we get another name drop coming here because General Iroh needs to send a message to, was it General?
I think it was a Commander.
Yeah, Commander Boomy.
Yep. Which actually, I think this is the second time we've had the character's name dropped.
Really?
In the first episode when Katara's talking about Tenzin, she mentions Kaya and Boomy, I believe.
Yeah.
The other two kids.
It does. But either way, we get General Boomy. And how does General Iroh get his message out to Boomy? By hobo wire.
Yep.
Because apparently Bush Hobo can do everything.
Yeah, it just warns them.
Well, not everything.
I will understand that later. But anyway, and then as all that, they finally got a plan. They finally got a plan in motion, and they're gonna go out to do it. Except for Korra, who's like, "Look, I need to actually go and face Amon. I need to just do this. I feel like it's time to end this now." General Iroh is like, "That's bad. You need to not do this alone." In which case, who'd have thunk that Asami actually goes over and I can't even say that with a straight face.
Well, yeah, no,
Mako goes over and
Asami's of course pissed about it because of course he's siding with her again.
Right, and so it's Iroh. That's when Iroh makes a mention of his grandfather. Mm-hmm. And how he always trusted the Avatar. Yep, so he's going to.
Yep, he always respected the Avatar. My grandfather did. It's a great line. But also, we know, knowing who his grandfather presumably is, it's just great knowing the voice actors behind both the characters.
Indeed. And during the time when Korra and Mako are getting ready to actually leave
go after Amon,
he and Asami kind of unofficially break up. It seems because they have that I care about you too, and the kiss, the cheek kiss, because I can speak words goodly.
It was about as confirmed as Jet's death.
Yes. Yes.
No, I'm trying to remember if somebody ever confirmed that in the comics or something like that.
It's been confirmed.
Wait, Jet's death?
Yeah.
It was always confirmed, but because I think, if I remember right,
Nintendo.
Yes, Nickelodeon didn't want it to be out there.
Yeah.
So that's why it was
ambiguous, and then they referenced it in the Amber Island players, and it was still ambiguous.
Yeah, and of course, I did read a lot of the comics.
Yeah.
And
his team showed up, didn't they?
Yeah, his team showed up, but none of them mentioned Jet.
And he's not
Jet
there.
Is not. Well, he's not there, and they don't speak.
So you should come to your own conclusions, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, anyone who watches anything Avatar or Legend of Korra are smart enough to put two and two together.
Of course.
But then we find out, the team splitting, and of course, the best boy gets best character ever because Bolin gets to team up with Naga.
Yep, along with Iroh and Asami, and they're going after just General Boomy and Sato.
Sato.
They're going after Sato. No, they're going to meet Boomy.
Not
there.
Boomy.
They're meeting Boomy there.
That's right. Because that was the message. And so, Korra and Mako go to Airbender Island where they see Amon leaving.
Oh, wait. They were going to take out the airfields because they didn't want Boomy and the forces to come in until he gave the signal.
Yeah, exactly.
So he wasn't going to meet Boomy. They're going to take out the airfields.
But also, weren't they going over there because that's going to be where... I thought they alluded to that being where they were going to come from, and that's why the airfield being close there was the problem.
No, it was the airfield just existing was the problem.
Okay, yeah.
Those planes were just... No one knew how to deal with them, and they were
true.
quick and they were fast.
Well... Makes sense.
That is very true. Yeah. Hey, this is why we have you here.
I just did a visual thing by pushing up my glasses.
Yeah, like a big nerd.
Again, we're mixing visuals with audio.
Of course.
Might as well.
We see the really cool segment where the Korra and Mako are going underwater. They use that cool bubble,
use the bubble
thing.
And of course, they're dressed up like equalist soldiers because, why wouldn't you?
They're going to Air Temple Island. They better be.
And of course, as they get to Air Temple Island, they're just walking casually, and that's when we meet the right-hand man.
Lance Henriksen, of course.
Lance Henriksen. I always am going to forget Lance. We see right-hand Lance, and he's just like, "What are you guys doing?" "Oh, we got transferred here." "Well, you're getting transferred again."
Yep.
And of course, Korra's just like, Yo, I know another way in. And they literally not on a wall. Yeah, the sidewalk thing. As they
Sidle?
Sidle, potato, tomato, it's all the same.
I don't know, still's a word, I don't know.
Sidewalk.
Yeah, sidewalk.
They sidewalking with nothing behind them, just over to this secret area where they get into Air Temple Island and they go to the attic. And of course, being in the attic to wait out for Amon. Mako does the one actually good thing in this episode and points out that they're not alone. Yep. And who should be there but...
Tarlock.
Thank you.
I don't know why you put that dead air in there.
Come on, man.
Yep. Tarlock is in the attic temple.
The attic temple.
The attic temple. The temple's attic, whatever.
Anyway, but yeah. Apparently Tarlock is being locked up there. And... of course, Korra is like, wow, what are you doing here? Why did Amon just capture you? And Tarlock reveals that Amon is Tarlock's brother.
Bum,
dun,
bum,
dun, dun.
Oh, what a crazy revelation that I've been like hiding this whole dang time I'm watching with you, dude.
Right. And in, of course, typical Avatar fashion, we actually get the backstory in this
wonderful
as well.
flashback.
It is good, though. Yeah, it's definitely a great flashback.
We find out that Amon is from the Northern Water Tribe, is a waterbender and a bloodbender.
Oh snap! Yeah, that's right. Waterbending.
Boo!
Hush you. But anyway, the long and short of it, because let's be honest, it's a lot longer than what we can describe it.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff in there, though.
Oh, there's a lot of good
things.
First
First, Yakone, did he escape prison?
He
escaped prison with his gang.
Yeah,
and changed his face.
Yeah,
literally.
we have plastic surgery in this world, apparently.
Though I always thought he didn't look too different. I'm sure we'll see faces, but I noticed that he does have a very Northern Water Tribe face.
Yeah, but I was
which is interesting because for being a waterbender of that power, you would think that he's from one of the tribes.
He should be, but he's from somewhere else. Probably some foggy swamp redneck, who knows? But I was saying, regarding his surgery, I was thinking, that's crazy. How did they have surgery? But, actually, they may have just, darkened his face and, colored his hair in because, not to get ahead of ourselves, but during the flashback, as it progressed in age, when he's older, he looks exactly like he does in the flashback.
That is true. I did notice.
He looks almost identical with longer hair when he gets older. So I'm like, did they make him look a little bit younger? Is all not really surgery.
But here's
removing face stuff.
But here's my question. Speaking of what you just said, if that were the case, the whole just darkening and everything, why would they need to bandage his entire head?
Yeah, who knows what kind of weird magic they use? Some kind of
magic, more like bending. Duh.
They have weirder stuff than just bending. Could have been
I know they do.
Buzzard wasp stings in his face for Botox. Who knows?
Yeah. But after he changes his face, as Ed stated about what kind of face he has, he actually does go to the Northern Water Tribe, where he meets... Did they say what his wife's name
mentioned her name. I think, was it Kana or something like that? I can't remember her name, but...
Yeah, I don't remember.
Very nice looking lady.
Either.
Very nice looking lady. They've said it off quickly, but I don't remember.
Either way...
she's not really too important.
He meets his was wife before a lot of things happened, and they had 2 kids. The older brother, who was Amon, also known as Noatak.
Yep, Noatak is his real name.
And of course the younger sibling being Tarlock.
Yep.
And of course, when Tarlock and Noatak were kids, they learned from their dad that they can waterbend.
Well, I don't think they learned it from their dad. They learned in general that they could.
Oh, that's right. Learned.
And then that's when Yakone is like, oh, they're waterbenders. They got my bloodline, so I'm gonna train them. And of course he does, and
he's a jerk about it too.
100%.
He's a terribly harsh teacher.
Horrible.
But also, it's very important, very cool note that even though with Aang's proper spirit bending, you can still pass on your bending to your children, which is an important thing. That's kind of that makes sense.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, after a while, Yakone actually takes his kids on a hunting trip when Tarlock was 7, and reveals everything. Reveals not only that his kids can do bloodbending, but also who he is and what happened to his bending. So,
the Avatar stole it from him.
Of course. And that's what he explains. And, of course, he reveals the destiny of the children, which is, you will avenge me, because I can't bend and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, every full moon...
Oh, we also find out that Katara outlawed bloodbending.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, it is mentioned that Katara outlawed it because it is, quote, the most powerful form of bending ever.
Oh, yeah, not true.
Yes. Oh, really?
That is factually not true. I will argue, because I will say that what we see later is by far the most destructive thing that could possibly happen.
I mean, if we're talking about like a one-on-one thing, like yes, there are other forms of bending that are very powerful. There's no doubt about that. But waterbending could, beat that, and also the fact that bloodbending stops all kinds of bending right off the bat. There, I mean, it's obviously there is the limitation, but Yakone shows that it is possible for people, because if you think about it, Hama created bloodbending on her own. So for him to realize, A, I can bloodbend, and B, I can do this bloodbending without not only not during a full moon, but without actually making physical gestures.
Oh yeah, they mentioned psychic bloodbending. They specifically say, they do not use any gestures. They can just control you. They don't need to actually do the actual katas to
which makes it even funnier because Sokka mentions he fought a firebender who could bend with his mind.
Yeah, that will never come back. That will never come back, I'm sure.
Right? Man, that was such an interesting form, and just
just never again, just never again.
Anyway,
just him.
Anyway,
me and Ed have had this argument for literally probably 10 years or whatever about which is the best form of bending. But I'll say waterbending is really, really strong, and there's some other stuff we're gonna see in the following season that's even more crazy regarding that. But it's really it's a thing, but we'll have this argument later in a couple of seasons, I'm sure, again.
Oh yeah.
Now remember, kids, you're allowed to like whatever bending you want,
as long as it's water bending.
All right.
But speaking of the flashbacks, the teen Tarlok's voice actor, Zach Callison, Steven from Steven Universe.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, way before Steven Universe too, so that's a nice little thing.
Yeah, seriously. Well, knowing their destiny and knowing anything, Noatak starts getting a little bit more jaded, more cold, more distant with all of this because, Tarlok and Noatak were really good brothers, but now all of this it's starting to tear them apart, Lisa. And every full moon, Noatak and Tarlok would go with their dad to learn how to bloodbend. Tarlok, obviously being the sensible kid, was like, "No, I don't like this." And Yakone, being Yakone, is just like, "Toughen up, meatbag."
Yeah, it's like, do it better, do it more.
Yep, and then over and over, they would do that until it would just be any time, not just the full moon, and that Yakone would take them out and do bloodbending, which is when you learn also that as they're bloodbending wolves to bend to their will.
They're very hilarious looking, though.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what's happening is really messed up.
It's messed up. It's
really messed up, but it looks hilarious.
Bloodbending always makes me cringe.
That noise.
You learn.
That's what, dude. You haven't heard the last episode, but that's exactly what Ben says too. It's like the noise.
Yeah,
and everything.
that's literally.
Oh yeah.
But you learn that not only is Noatak really good at bloodbending, but he also learned his father's ability of psychic bending as well.
Psychic bloodbending, yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And after all that, there was one night where Noatak and Tarlok were going to have to bloodbend each other.
Oh, yeah.
Noatak does it without a hitch.
Yeah.
And, of course, Tarlok, being the sensible one, is like, I just felt what that was like. I'm not bloodbending my brother.
Well, it wasn't just sensible. It's a situation that really kind of makes you think about what bloodbending is and some of the repercussions of it. Because Tarlok never got as bad into it, obviously, as Noatak did, and Noatak was excelling in it. And Yakone, you see this in Yakone, and especially Hama. As I believe that bloodbending has a negative mental effect on the user, where they become more cold, they become more distant, because Hama, was literally willing to murder innocent people just because of where they were from.
Yeah.
Well, then you see Yakone. I mean, he's so, when he had his bloodbending taken away and was away from it, you saw him. He had a family. He had children. And then when he started getting back into it and started getting near it, his cold personality started taking back over. And Noatak shows this straight up, where he's like, "Oh yeah, boom, I'm gonna bloodbend you." hardcore. He's just, I control you. I don't care about you.
Well, see, it's not.
It's naturally evil seeming thing too. Yeah.
It's all about the power hungry is what it is. What it is in my opinion, because they have a power that literally stops any bender from bending because they can control the blood inside them.
Yeah, it's literally controlling anything in anybody.
Pretty much. Yeah. So of course they're gonna be like, I have this power, so but of course. So Tarlok doesn't want to do it, and Yakon's like, I'm going to teach you a lesson, boy. And Noatak saves him by blood bending with his mind. Yakon. Ooh. And Yakon is like, oh, yeah, what are you doing? I made you this way. Noatak drops a few truth bombs here. One, Yakon is the weak, pathetic one because he can't bend anymore. Yeah. And two, he says that blood bending is the most powerful form. But that's not true, because the Avatar took his bending away.
And is immune to blood bending as well.
Yes.
The Avatar state is.
The Avatar
state is.
Yeah.
But which is confusing then, because I said, Hama has been said to have created it, but...
I don't know if she may have just been the first to discover in centuries or whatever and actually acknowledge that it exists.
I feel like that's something that would exist before.
I don't think
it probably was, but we'll probably get there.
But it's also, I'm certain, because we've seen a lot of, as long as the line of Avatars there's been a lot of time, and a lot of things that they do confront again and again, or occasionally for lifetimes they won't. I'm sure someone's come across something like that, and during their time they could have come across someone similar to Hama and Yakon and learned to be immune to it, and that's why the Avatar state.
That is a possibility
from the future, because the Avatar state you literally have all of the other one's abilities.
Yes. I mean, there's other reasons about the Avatar state that we really can't go into.
Yeah, or the actual nature of the blood bending compared to what the spirit bending that they actually do when they actually drain something out of them. Yeah. This sounds like it could be the case. Yeah, who knows?
As I sit here having no idea what they're talking about.
Well, we're talking about the Avatar. You've seen the original series.
Well, yeah, the Avatar. I'm talking
we
about.
We don't know if bending actually works on the Avatar state at all, besides lightning bending, apparently, because it killed Aang.
Yeah, seriously.
But it's who knows?
And then, of course, as this is happening, as Noatak is like, I'm gonna find this ultimate form of bending. He does the.
Yeah, now let me point out that's why we know that bloodbending might not be the most powerful, because the bloodbenders said that themselves.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that might not be the most powerful form.
Anyway, before we add fuel to this fire.
Oh, we're gonna go to this again in a couple seconds, I'm sure.
Well, Noatak is like, Tarlok, come with me. We can run away. We can be this powerful. And of course, Tarlok, being the younger one, is like, what about Mom? We can't leave her behind. Mm-hmm. And Noatak is like, yeah, you are weak, and runs away.
Yep. He cares about his mom, but...
What a loser. Yeah. Noatak, you're an asshole.
Right. And then, of course, time passes.
They could have took the mom with them. There was no reason not to.
Yeah, you really could have. Just been like, yeah, Dad used to be a gangster. We need to leave.
Daddy used to be a gangster.
Daddy used to be a gangster.
But then, of course, time passes. Yakon dies out. Doesn't even teach bloodbending anymore because his will to do all that. Yeah, he literally just gives up on life and dies.
He dies, buddy. If I'm not mistaken, it's a year after Noatak leaves.
Was it a year after?
I think that is what they said.
Yeah. And then she dies a few years after.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So after hearing this story,
legit tragic.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Tarlok goes on to build a good life for himself.
Right.
Tarlok does. So.
But he ends up trying to take over Republic City
he goes a little
the
crazy
good way.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
The lesser of two evils, I would say.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
And of course, Korra, hearing all of this, thinks, wait, maybe this is a form of blood.
Oh, you hilarious, the line that I thought was just hilarious when she says...
Maybe it's a form of blood bending.
No. I was saying the most hilarious line when she's like, that's one of the saddest stories I've ever heard. And I was just
yeah.
That's a very silly line.
She hasn't talked to Lynn about her whole story yet.
Yeah.
Or anybody else related to Aang and what they've been through and all the crazy stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
Fair, but...
No one even died in that story. Everyone else has tons of dead family members and stuff.
Well, of course, hearing that, Korra's like, so it's a type of blood bending, and even Tarlok himself says, I don't know if it is or not.
Oh, no, he says it's blood bending, but I don't know how he's doing it.
Yeah. How it's done.
I mean, it's just straight up. It's straight up. My assumption is that basically what he's done is found a way to throw the body off balance, which therefore closes up the chakras. Because if you remember, Aang straight up, lost a lot when his chakras were sealed.
I don't know if they pointed out in this series or the following season, but I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we have a whole other episode to describe what's going on. But at some point, don't they specifically mention it's a clot in the brain? It's either this season or the following season, but I'm pretty sure specifically he's putting a very specific clot in their brain to stop them from being
spoilers for those who are listening in.
Well, yeah, spoilers. We haven't even discussed what's going to happen with the twist next episode. That kind of throws us all out of the window for a second. But like, I believe at some point somebody mentions it's very specifically a very specific clot somewhere.
But I said I feel like that was mentioned. That would shut off a lot, but. There's because of something that happens in a later episode.
Yeah.
I personally believe that it's a chakra thing. Because
we just see some other
up.
stuff.
I mean, even if it is that right there throws
also,
off.
we should probably save this for like after the episode, like mid discussion.
There's not much else happens the rest of the episode here. At this point.
Yeah, because Korra and Mako are like, we can't really bend him because he's just gonna redirect everything with his psychic ability. But we can reveal him for the fraud that he is because we know the truth.
Yep.
And then they go to the rally.
That's where the episode ends.
Yeah, that's where the episode ends.
Oof, I'm a good.
So, like I said, there really wasn't that much left.
Yeah, it was near the end. But like, I feel like at some point somebody mentions that it's a clot.
I mean, that's a
possibility. But there is the stuff from coming up that could like make it be something different, which would also add a lot of credence. I'll admit to your damn waterbending being really good argument, but
if you think about it, like they even says, like Amon literally redirects. Like he is able to in mid-battle control them, not enough that they even know it, but enough that he can dodge their body.
So he can deflect any attack because he just stops them from doing anything with
He just, all it takes is, if you're going to get a lightning bolt shot at you, move it just a tiny bit, and if you're a good amount away, he always was very far away until he jumped in. Mm-hmm. He would always fight away and kind of work his way up.
Oh yeah, he's really, really powerful. It's really, really good. All right, next episode.
Yep, and the next episode, which is...
So, unfortunately, I will not be able to join you guys for the last. I got some stuff that popped up, but I'm very excited to hear what you got to say, and, there's some good stuff coming up in this finale here, so...
Oh, man, well, I mean... I hope everything gets taken care of very well, but it was very nice to have you here on the show.
I mean, you'll see plenty
Thanks
more.
For shaking his hands up for the audience.
Of course. But yes, I will definitely be back for more Korra because I love this franchise, this series, and Korra. I personally believe that Korra is a better series than Last Airbender.
So controversial, so bold.
Very controversial.
Leaving on a controversial note.
That's a very controversial. But I'll also leave you this. What a try.
Yes, Ed will be joining us for future episodes of the series, and we look forward to it. But as you began to say, the next episode we are covering.
Oh yes, absolutely. Now we're finally getting to the season finale of Legend of Korra, going to the Endgame. Everything happens here.
Oh yeah, it's a crazy episode.
And of course, do you remember what the last time was? Was it just learning about
the last time is all about the Amon backstory reveal.
Okay, yeah. So it's nothing new, nothing noteworthy. So we cut to the actual secret base of the Jets, where Bolin and the gang are like,
now we're chasing some planes.
This. And of course, they go down to sabotage this. And Asami asks a really good question because all that is surrounding this airbase are just poles.
Yeah.
Like iron poles.
A fence with no fencing? Like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
And of course, Asami's like, wait, so where is the fence if they're going to... And then immediately gets shot.
Yeah, the whole gang gets knocked out.
Yeah, all of them get shot. Even General Iroh.
Uh-huh.
Fortunately, before that, Pabu and Naga did not join in because Bolin, in Disney princess fashion, was like, no, stay.
Yeah, we'll go. Don't worry about us. And then immediately they'll get taken out.
Yeah, and immediately. But after that, we get to the rally. Everyone.
A very, very huge rally in the pro bending arena.
Yeah, in the pro bending arena. And it's just saddening. It's disheartening because so many people agree with Amon.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
And of course...
Including Yellow Shirt guys. In the audience.
Including Yellow Shirt guy. And of course... Amon's like reliving the fact that a firebender took his family and burnt his face and blah blah blah, and then of course Korra's like, yeah, sure it was Amon, or should I say Noah talk, which that irked him so much because it zooms in on his eye and he squints.
Yeah, angry squint from Amon about.
And of course Lance is like getting ready to be like, sir, and Amon's like, no. Let her talk. I want to hear this. And Korra reveals the truth. He's actually a bloodbender.
Yep, his name is Noatak. He's the son of Yakone. A lot of people guess, so a lot of people know Yakone.
And especially when they bring up the brother of Tarlok. Even Lance is like looking at him like, excuse you? Mm-hmm. And of course, Amon in typical villain fashion is like, yeah, you're desperate, whatever.
Yeah, the Avatar's talking trash, making stuff up, whatever.
And it seems to be working, actually, in Korra's favor. But then we finally get to see what's under the mask.
Yep.
And it's revealed a short brown-haired man with like a Zuko scar, only all
like a tire.
His face.
It's like a big tire tread mark slashing across his face.
And that's all it took for everyone to be like, oh, the Avatar's lying.
Yeah, the Avatar's making stuff up. But all the rando people, it's great. It's
and then, of course, Korra and Mako are about to leave when, they're just getting surrounded. Mm-hmm. And, of course, we go back to the airfield.
All about to say right before that, though, they say, let's get out. Mako's like, let's get out of here. Oh, you see it. And then he's like, wait, stick around, Avatar, for this. As we see 4 poles rise up showing Tenzin and the 3 kids.
Oh,
Jinora,
yeah, that's right. That is when it is
tied to the post. And then they cut back to the airfield.
And in a prison in the airfield, because apparently every airfield has a prison, mm-hmm. Sato is...
A mountain base, like I refer to it as in my notes.
Mountain base. But Hiroshi, because I forgot his name.
I just keep saying Sato.
Yeah, I keep saying Sato too, but Sato is like, my daughter, don't worry. In time, you'll learn that everything is going to be okay. And of course, Asami is like, no, what you're doing is evil. And then of course, insolent girl, how dare you? And then you find out that he knows about Bumi's fleet.
Yep.
And he's going to send some planes to destroy it.
Yep, they intercepted the transmissions somehow and are planning an attack on Bumi.
And he prepares to leave. And of course, Iroh's like, hey, Earthbender that's tied with me. I don't suppose you can metal bend, can you?
And we got
Bulin's like, no, I can't
confirmation
do
that Bulin cannot metal bend.
Yep, very important thing right there. And some time passes, and we get the 2 best characters ever, Naga and Pabu.
Yep, they stage a breakout with Naga just straight up destroying the bars.
Yep, we got more Naga bending, and we even get some Pabu bending, even though it doesn't show because, they get out of their minds.
Yep. On their way out, we see Asami spy a mecha tank, like a anime teen, about to jump into a mech.
Immediately jumps in, which, when I first saw that, I'm like, you don't know how to drive that. But then she immediately says, it's just like a Future Industries forklift.
Yep.
And I'm just like, of course.
Of course, yeah. That's some good hilarious exposition right there.
Sato can't make anything so unique except for the jet planes.
Oh, he makes a lot of things unique, but he makes them very easy to control.
Exactly. Well, that's what I mean. Like, so unique that his daughter can't just jump in and be like, I know how this works.
Yeah, it's just like, it's literally just like in Aliens when Ripley gets into the giant thing. It's like, it's just like the old ones I used to use. And it's like,
yeah.
It's funny. There's a little reference there.
And then, of course, Iroh decides to take a plane, which first thing I thought of was, how are you going to drive that? How are you going to drive that plane? You don't even know how it works.
Yeah, it's just like a Sato-mobile.
Well, Iroh...
He's a general. I'm sure he's learned how to drive before.
But not a plane like this.
Yeah, it's the same as a Automobile.
No, it's not. He doesn't even have a steering. Anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. He looks like a pilot per character, so he knows how to do it.
But as he is going to chase after those planes, going after the fleet, we go back to Amon, who's getting ready. I'm sorry, I have to point this out, but this scene kind of churned my stomach a little bit. Not because it was airbenders, not because he was going to take the bending away, but it would show him taking bending away from children.
Yeah.
I churned my stomach.
Yeah, it would have been crazy. But, fortunately, Korra and Mako used their Naruto training
to... their Naruto, ninja...
to wall
run. And,
it's great.
They free Tenzin and everyone, and apparently there's two things that psychic bending can't redirect. Lightning, because he gets shocked in the face.
Well, that's jumping ahead.
No, we're not, because that's before they run on the wall.
He didn't get hit by lightning.
Oh, he did. Well, he did. He got hit by lightning.
Did he get by lightning before?
Yeah, he did. He gets hit by lightning multiple times. And apparently Tenzin airbending throws him off as well.
Tenzin does some good last-minute airbending. And first one-on-one fight with him. Yep, manages to beat him on with a one-on-one fight with airbending. It's great. Foreshadowing, too.
On a side note, we find out that Pema and the baby are just locked up in a prison. So Tenzin and his family go to save Pema and the rest of his family, while Korra and Mako have to run away from Amon.
Yep. They make a big giant wall of fire to escape, and Amon just coolly hops right through it.
Yep, and in horror movie fashion, we get the Korra's hiding a table in an abandoned room, and we get to see Amon's feet just walking.
Yep.
And then walks away slowly. And of course, like every horror movie, Korra thinks she's fine until she gets blood bended out from underneath.
Yeah, really cool to see where she's dragged
Mako's
out
like,
suddenly.
"No, Korra!" And then he gets blood bended too.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
And yeah, okay. And then of course
crazy
Mako is
scene.
getting bent out of shape, literally, and Korra gets into a very familiar on her knees position. As you see a slow hand of Amon reach down, and I don't know how else to say this. I can't build this up. Korra gets her bending taken away.
It's absolutely crazy. Yep,
it very much is.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, right after that, right after Korra, the Avatar, cannot bend anymore, we go back to Iroh fighting. Since he doesn't know how to use a fighter, he does a pretty good job for not knowing, actually, because he takes out a few.
With the BT, he takes out a ton. Some fantastic dogfighting.
Some
great lightning bending.
Some great lightning bending and stuff like that. And we even get one of the original things that Iroh was able to do. Fire flying.
Yeah. Oh, did Iroh ever do that?
I think
Azula does it a lot.
Oh, Azula. That's probably.
I think maybe Zuko did it near the end, but Azula did it a ton
we
we
get fire flying again.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we're talking for those who've never seen anything Avatar, we're talking Tony Stark. If
I'm about to say, I wrote that in my notes like a magic Iron Man, just shooting beams of fire, just flying around. It was a really cool fight.
And I mean, he does really good. And of course, Bolin succeeds in tearing up the ground where the runways are, and we get probably the second best fight scene ever. Asami versus Sato in Avatar.
I'm about to say, you cut out while he's doing the really cool dog fighting and stuff. His plane gets hit, it crashes into Aang's statue, and when the mask falls off and he's hanging from the banner, and this part, even back in the day when I saw this scene, it really choked me up. When he was like,
thanks for looking out for me.
That destroyed. When I saw Dr. Bosco saying that in voice, I literally choked up in my original saying, and seeing it again, I still I missed you. It's like, so good.
I did actually have some some respect for that.
It was so dumb.
I didn't tear up, but I'm just like, you know, like pounding my chest where my heart is.
Yeah, because it's literally Dante Bosco saying it again, and it's just like,
oh yeah, dude, it was so deep. Ugh. It was very deep.
And then Bolin takes on 3 mecha tanks with Naga.
Oh yeah, with Naga, as he's helping Sato and Asami have their Rock'em Sock'em robot fight.
Oh yeah, they do their mecha battle, daughter and father, just like a weird, crazy mecha anime that we're watching suddenly.
But again, it's usually the small things. But one of my favorite things about this scene is seeing Sato literally go from, I'm trying to save you, descend into that madness of, you can't be saved. Just in one scene, they did that.
It was crazy. That was so good.
And, of course, you know, they win. You know, Asami and Bolin, they win. And we go right back to Amon, who had just taken Korra's bending away.
Oh, yeah.
He starts going over to Mako when you hear Lance say, hey. And just so you know, kids, this is the dumbest thing you're about to hear. Lance, who just
you
was
just
an
call him
equalist.
Lance, not Lance Henriksen, the voice actor.
Well, because I always forget the last name.
I need a friend Lance Henriksen. He's a crazy actor.
But he just saw bloodbending happening from his leader of an equalist group that is shunning bending. Does he run away and tell people that, hey, Amon is actually a liar and the Avatar is telling the truth? No. He points out, hey, I know what you're doing now. I know that you're a liar. Everything in my life has been crushed now. And goes to attack the man.
Lance Henriksen's a stern guy. I can imagine. I can see that character not running and telling people. I can see him trying to fight.
Well, right. And not gonna lie, I have mad respect for that.
Uh-huh.
But there's just a league of its own that Amon is in. And, of course, he gets blood bent and scared the crap out of me.
I presumed he was killed.
Yeah, well, no. I presumed he was going to get killed in a different manner than just being tossed aside like he was.
Crushed,
because of because of the way his hand was. I'm like, I know how that looks. I know what's going to happen. And it didn't. No. It did not happen. His heart did not get crushed.
Well, we don't know what happened.
Dude, he did not close his fist. So.
He didn't need to close it. Just squeezing it hard would be bad enough. But I assumed he killed him. I don't know.
Oh, probably. We don't know. We don't know. But, of course, as that's happening, he goes... After that happens, once again, Amon's like, okay, time to take this guy's bending away. Gets ready to do it, and gets zapped.
Yep, by Mako at point blank range.
Which, again, I hate Mako. That's the second coolest thing he's done.
I hate Mako. He's not anything bad yet. Just a bad boyfriend and a big cheater.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why I don't like him. Anyway, so he takes Korra and they start running away. And Korra, of course, is distraught. Like, she can't bend anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Amon blood bends and finally is getting ready to take Mako's bending. Oh, yeah. Korra is devastated. She's like, no, don't do it. Throws her hand in the air, and wind comes out of it.
Yeah, just a big old punch from Korra, sends some actual air bending, finally.
Amon is baffled. The viewers are baffled. Mako's baffled. Korra's baffled. But Korra can air bend.
Yeah, she unlocked it in herself. We'll find out why later, but yeah, it was crazy.
But... she's airbending, and this is like, holy crap, like, this is amazing because she is literally airbending and Amon's not being able to do much. Mm-hmm. And he gets thrown out of a window and into the water. Everyone looks up and is like, wait, was that? They see the mask float up from the water, and it's like, oh, that was our fearless leader.
Yeah, the
Avatar, how evil, how
including
evil.
That guy from the first episode.
Oh yeah, the
guy in the
propaganda
park.
man.
Yeah, the guy in the park. Yeah, even he's just like, hey, there you Avatar.
And then, best thing to ever happen happens. Amon is so angry.
We see his scar wash off underwater.
Yeah, his scar washes off from the water, meaning it's a fake. He just water bends and is getting ready to just water bend the crap out of Korra. He looks down and all of his followers are just looking up like, yeah. And of course they're like, the Avatar was telling the truth and everything. Amon is just devastated. He has no scar. He has nothing. He literally, in one fraction of a second, he lost all of his power.
Oh yeah, that's excellent. It's a really good comeuppance. Also, Yellow Shirt Guy is outside in the crowd.
Yes, he is. Always gotta point that out. So what he does, he literally does the only rational thing he could do. He runs away.
Of course,
because he's not gonna. Everything got ruined. He's not just gonna just turn into a feral beast right there. No, he just
smarter than that.
Hightails it out. Yep. And which begs the question, because Mako wants to try and hit him, and he's using fire on water. The guy can lightning bend. Just zap the water.
That would have been a much smarter plan, actually. Yeah. But I guess it's more unpredictable to aim, and there's a whole crowd of people. It's a pretty far distance, so it's a lot of things.
This is true, but still. So he runs away, and so we see Amon go back to Air Temple Island, and is like, Tarlok, you're literally the only family I have. Let's get out of here. And Tarlok agrees. Then after that we cut back to Korra seeing Lin, because we find out Lin's all right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, yay, everything's good, but Korra does mention about the whole bending being taken away except for air. Anymore. And Bolin tries and fails. He doesn't read the room very well. He tries to be happy, but doesn't work. And we finally get to see Commander Boomy.
We finally got our first glimpse of Boomy.
And for those of you who've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, he is technically Aang's son, so he is an airbender technically.
Well,
but he is.
You'll find out about him next season. You'll find out about him.
But he is as crazy as King Boomy, for whom he was named after.
Yeah, he is absolutely a madman, and it's so good. And Tenzin's like, ugh, my brother.
Yeah, even Tenzin's like, ugh, no. Well, after that cut, because it's a season finale, we're getting a lot of cuts, kids.
Of course.
We go back to a speedboat, which again.
Oh, not yet. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, this beautiful, terrible scene.
A speedboat, which again, never knew they existed.
Well, they're both waterbenders.
I know, but they're still in a speedboat.
I think they showed boats at some point, right?
No, boats, yes, but I didn't know like a speedboat of that caliber. Anyway, so Tarlok's like, yeah, Noah, this is gonna be great, and he's happy. I'm happy to hear his name, Noah. And of course, you see Tarlok looking, and he sees one of the equalist gloves.
Yep.
So he goes and he puts it on. Me at this point. Okay. I see where this is going on. And of course, heartbreaking moment.
Mm.
And Noah, because I can finally call him that again, is like, it'll be just like the good old days. Tarlok totally 180s what I think he's going to do, and opens the gas can and says, yes, just like the good old days. A few tears are shed, and we get a mushroom cloud explosion.
Yeah, it was very, very reminiscent, just because it's Stephen Blum, and of course he's one of the most amazing voice actors ever.
Oh my god, yes,
he is. It's very, very emotional scene, and it's like, of course, it extra tiered me. Like, I barely care about Tarlok throughout the series. Mm-hmm. I was very surprised about the Noah stuff, but I wasn't crazy, like on his side or anything.
Right.
But like watching this scene, it so reminded me of the end of Cowboy Bebop, and like just the tears and just like the ending and just like Stephen Blum being sad and about to die, and it was just like. It tore me up, even though I don't like either of the characters. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for bringing that repressed memory up.
It was a really sad scene. Like, back in the day when I first aired, I was like tearing up again at this because it was such a beautiful, quiet, wonderful scene between D. Bradley Baker and Stephen Blum, these amazing voice actors. And it's two amazing characters with a ton of stuff that's happened to them. Yeah. So much backstory. It was just a huge, great build-up that was just like so beautiful and crazy and sad. It was great. And
after that mushroom cloud,
it was crazy.
Oh man,
it was so quick, and I'm pretty sure it was like quiet too. It was like oof.
And then after that devastating thing, because we can't just stop with one emotional thing.
Yeah.
We cut to the North Pole, where
South Pole. It's South.
Oh yeah. South Pole.
Because Katara's there.
I said South. It sounds like North.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we see everyone, like Tenzin, the kids, even Bolin and everyone just sitting there waiting quietly. And then we see Katara come out.
Yeah, finally back.
And again, no more emotions. Ha! Please. She reveals that Korra did lose her bending. She did not lose her airbending. She can still airbend, but her other elements have been severed somehow. And of course, Lin, being Lin, is like, you're the best healer in the world. There's got to be something you can do.
Yep.
And of course, Katara drops the truth and says, no, there isn't anything I can do. I've tried literally everything.
Yep.
And Korra is just, devastated, rightfully so. And so she needs to go and have some alone time. But not before...
Yep,
Mako comes over and is like... And of course, Korra's like, dude, I'm not the Avatar anymore. You can go. You don't need me anymore.
Yep.
Feeling a bit defeated, obviously, and for good reason. Mako's like, I don't care. When you were taken away by Tarlok, I was devastated.
Yep.
because
big confession on Mako's part.
He finally confesses that he loves her.
Yep.
Korra just leaves. I'm sorry.
Korra's too hurt to accept it. Look, steps off.
I don't take hints very well. I suck at reading the room a lot. But my God, even I knew you shouldn't have said that at that moment. She's
I think he was trying to help her up, but she's just too broken up to even care. She's just too hard to accept, and she just wanders off to be by herself. It's tough. It's tough for everybody on that scene.
And of course, Tenzin's all, give her time, she'll come around.
Yeah.
So Korra's off just on a cliffside in the North Pole, because let's be honest, South Pole is beautiful landscape always.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
And she does exactly what needed to be done. She just breaks down and cries. Like, dude, a whole lot of things happened. I'm surprised that she has had very little breakdowns like this, because with everything she's dealt with, I think she had like one other one.
Yeah. Well, not gonna say nothing, but like, there's a lot more for Korra to go through. She's gonna have a hard life. I'll tell you that much.
She needs to have more of these because honestly, a lot of things happen to her.
Oh, a lot worse is gonna happen to her, dude. She's going to get like tore up. She is gonna have a horrible life. It's gonna get a lot worse. Yeah, it's a hard knock life for her.
But anyway, as she's
a nice mountain cry,
and as she's having her moment, Tenzin appears, and of course she's like, and so she's like, not now, Tenzin. I just need to be alone right now. And we hear not Tenzin's voice, but someone else say, "But you called me here." And we find out it's not Tenzin, it's Aang.
Yeah.
And even she's like, "Wait, but I thought I couldn't, I thought I was horrible at spirituality." And Aang's like, "Well, when we hit our lowest point, that's when we get closest to, ourselves in a spiritual way." And you see every single solitary avatar from Aang down.
Yeah, we get to see Kyoshi, we see Roku, we see
Yen Chen.
Is that
Yen Chen?
I'm about to say
the airbender one before Aang.
Oh, the female one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say also that dumb idiot waterbender who got his face stolen by Ko.
Yeah, we see that
we see everybody.
We see,
it's great, you see all of them, yeah.
And we also get to see Aang do what we all know he's good at, do the energy bending kind of thing, and they all disappear after that.
Yeah, she finally unlocks the Avatar state.
Korra unlocks the Avatar state, and it is beautiful. Like literally, I couldn't help myself from just wanting to cheer out loud.
Yeah, I was gonna say I guess we'll spend the post episode tangent bit right now, but like just conceptually thinking about it, Korra hasn't hit her lowest point until now because since she found out she was the Avatar and she could bend all those elements since she was a little child, she was raised by the White Lotus, having a pretty cushy life. Went to Republic City, had a rough time, but not a horribly devastating time.
And then she
went through all that stuff. Yeah, lost her found love, lost it, had her bending stolen, had to deal with Amon and everything. And that's when she finally hit it, and she could unlock the Avatar state. Thinking back to Aang, Aang had the worst thing happen to him in his entire life. Immediately after waking up after living 100 years, which is going back to his home, finding it utterly destroyed, and every single person he loves murdered in a dead skeleton. And that's when he unlocked the Avatar state, I'm pretty sure, in the second or third episode.
That's the first time he actually used it, because technically he used it to get out of the ice.
Yeah, you're right. But also he was running
away. But when he actually when all of that emotion just welled up, and he just used the Avatar state for the first conscious moment.
It was the lowest point. Yeah. He had a lot earlier because he did have such a constructive, cushy life as Korra did.
But and it's just because of that right there, actually.
Yeah. But I wish I was here to discuss this.
Made that line when he says when we hit our lowest.
Oh yeah.
When we hit our lowest, that made me just my heart just went.
Yeah. It's an insanely depressing, horrible time for Korra, but it helps her unlock the most important thing about being the Avatar, which is the Avatar state.
So obviously she has everything back because Avatar state. Boom. She's cured of whatever Amon did.
As we know that it can undo blood bending and make you immune and pretty much just your ultimate badass suddenly.
You get this amazing scene where she literally does one of every bending.
The classic scene that all the avatars do whenever they finally get their powers back. It's a great scene, yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was beautiful. And then of course, Mako was watching this.
Of course, he followed her out.
Yeah, and of course, oh, I love you too. Kiss, kiss, whatever. Ugh.
Oh, that's all for the two of them.
A lot of oogie. And of course, we get something that definitely needed to be seen, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
We see Lin walk up to Korra and actually, get on the knees, for that whole thing. And Korra does the energy bending, and Lin... Oh, and be glorious.
Yeah.
In a glorious thing. You see her actually lift up rocks and just God.
Yeah, a huge amount of rocks, Avatar Kyoshi level, giant stones.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
Oh, yeah.
It was just, I was so happy running that scene.
And the final line, of course.
So good.
Given by Tenzin,
yeah.
I'm very proud of you, Avatar Korra.
Yeah, I was like, so good.
And
it's
then,
so good.
And that, my friends, is the end of season 1 of Legend of Korra.
That was amazing. It's really good. It's really good back for the Avatar after Last Airbender.
They did everything
it's
right.
So good. It was so good.
Oh, man.
It was so good. It was really that was amazing. I'm so happy it had such a great ending.
And of course,
really cathartic.
I'm the guy who's never seen this before. So seeing that, not only, my emotions were just off the scale. You can even ask Ed about that. Because he and Leanne both watched me as all of this happened. Only problem is the baby was getting to the point where she was going to go to sleep. So I couldn't do exactly what I wanted to.
Yell?
There were a lot of times where I wanted to yell. I wanted to scream. I wanted to laugh. I wanted to cry. I wanted to do everything.
That's so good. It was such a great ass finale.
Oh my goodness! I can see why. I can see why this could have been a 1-season thing.
It could. It wouldn't. I would have been so upset if it was because it goes to a lot crazier places following this. But
obviously, but still, I'm just so like, oh my goodness. I kind of am torn right now because I want to have an episode where we just talk about everything that happened. I've had so many moments where I just wanted to gush about this. And I wasn't able to because, we're doing this thing.
Of course, that's the trouble with doing a TV show podcast for like a great show. You can't talk about it until you're on the podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's excellent. It's
like
amazing.
Very few things get me so emotionally invested when it comes to TV shows and stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender was one of those that did, and rightfully so, I can safely say that Legend of Korra is going to do that to me a lot.
It's really good. It's so good.
Oh, man.
It's such a good payoff for like a crazy everything from Tarlok and Noatak to Lynn finally getting her bending back and just seeing all the people. It's an amazing series.
Oh my god, yes it is.
It's such a good payoff. I'm so glad you enjoyed it because we have a lot more to go.
Oh yes.
And speaking of which, we've had much decisions on what to do following the podcast.
We did actually talk about this a little bit more.
Yep. Our original plan was to change shows every season and come back to them eventually.
But then we realized that, especially with something like Legend of Korra, it would actually probably be a lot better if we just stuck with a series.
Oh, yeah.
So we know some of them are going to be shorter than others. Some of them may just end off with a cliffhanger or something. Like, all we know about Young Justice is that there's a 3rd season.
Yeah.
Which is the newest season, right, to book. So we don't know how that's going to end because we have not seen season 3. None of us have.
And hopefully by the time we catch up on that string of the podcast, hopefully season 3 possibly will be over by then. We'll be able to catch up, or we'll have to put that on hiatus. It's still there.
Yeah.
But we'll discuss that when we get to that bridge. But with Korra, it has been finished for a long time, so we do have all the episodes at our access.
Because of all that and because of what we just discussed, we did officially decide that we're not going to go to a different. We're not going to do a different season 1. We're actually going to continue with Korra until it's done.
Yep. So join us in 2 weeks, I guess technically it would be, for the beginning of season 2 of Korra. That's going to be our next. That's episode 10.
No, it's episode 13.
What the heck is this? No, I'm saying for.
Yes. I keep doing that. Yes, it'll be episode 10.
Yeah. All right, but after that, we'll go on and see. But thank you for joining us. My name is Matthew Lewis. I hope you enjoyed the season as much as we obviously did.
And I'm Ben Sturgeon here.
You can find me at Matthew Lewis P on Twitter. You can find my podcasts and my Patreon and my YouTube channel and SoundCloud and everything under Matthew Lewis Podcasts.
And I still personally don't have any plugs yet, but as I mentioned in the previous episode in our Young Justice one, I am starting to work on a Facebook page for the Action Toon Bros, at least.
Yep.
So
I check out my other podcast, my story-based one, Forgotten Minotaur King, and I should be good.
Yeah.
Keep it sleazy. I got it first this time.
Keep it the sleaziest.
That's not even a thing. All right, see you guys. Yep.